met Diane in the fall of 1956 when she transferred to Orchard Park High School from Buffalo.
Well, I met my husband, Joe, on the school bus. We had just moved from the city to the suburbs. He was 15 and I was 16, almost 16. Yeah, I thought he was goofy. He had very thick glasses, like Coke bottles, we used to call them in our day. But he was handsome. He was handsome. We had our first date for my birthday. He took me out to the toboggan run outside of Buffalo, New York.
Worst thing about that whole deal is my buddies were there and they were doing nothing but harassing us the whole time we were there.
Played with his hat, threw it around, you know how kids do. I thought, oh my gosh, this is really goofy. But we had fun. We had a lot of fun. So that was the beginning of our life together.
We had a somewhat of a rocky start. We were still living in Orchard Park. We still had our old friends. I was still hanging out with the same buddies I was hanging out with in those days.
When you have kids right after one after another, you're so involved with them that I don't think we had time to really grow with each other at that time.
The best thing that ever happened was when General Motors moved us to the Detroit area. We were forced together. We didn't know anybody. And I think it did a lot for our trust in the decision making we had to make. We bought when we moved to the Northville area, and that was a very traumatic experience in the sense that the Detroit area housing was way more expensive than anything we had dealt with in Buffalo. All of which forced us to make decisions together.
When things came along that were tough in his life, in his business life, he would always include me in that and making decisions. And I always appreciated that about him. We just worked through and kept falling in love with each other as time went on.
Well, when they talk about the honeymoon stage, is there a honeymoon stage? I don't know. I think we're still on our honeymoon, okay? And if anything, we probably have a much better intimate relationship today than we did when we were first married. Marriage isn't all roses and peaches and cream. You're going to have your ups and downs.
I love the fact that he allowed me to be who I was. I love that. And that was difficult for him in the beginning of our marriage, but it really worked out beautifully.
I came home from work one day and Diane had bought this horse and had it tied to a tree in the backyard at our current house.
I found a horse that I really liked, and I brought it home. We didn't have anything. We didn't have a barn or anything. We had a little chicken coop back there that we made a stall on.
In terms of personalities, we're about this far apart, okay? You can't change your spouse. You can change yourself, but you can't change your spouse. She learned that I had to analyze things and go through the process. I learned that she was going to come up with these crazy ideas off the wall with a solution, and you learn to roll with those things. She'll come up with one of her ideas, and I usually sit at it for 2 or 3 days. And sometimes it's a great idea, and sometimes it isn't. The love is a combination of it. It's a total and complete commitment, and I can't say understanding because I don't know that I'll ever totally understand Diane until the day we go with the Lord. But we do understand each other better than we did. It's the ability to go through life together, to suffer the same hurts and the same joys, and the watching the same things in terms of kids growing up and all those kinds of things. You become one as a one in the soul. And I don't know if that describes love or not, but that's about as best a job as I can do. The specific things I think that hold us together is the fact that not only are we husband and wife, we're also friends. The thing that we have that we can hang on to are our memories. And those memories come from the life you lead with your family, with your children, your grandchildren, and your great-grandchildren. And we've got lots of them.
We hung around with people that enjoyed life, and we enjoyed it along with them.